everybody. Welcome into the Mayo Media Network. You are watching Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Chris Meaney. Thanks as always for taking the time to hang out. Happy Friday to you guys. We got Cam Stewart hanging by. 7 games on the ice, 4 massive favorites, but we're going to break them all down. A couple props and picks for you guys, as well as a couple DFS picks on the way out. But it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. And just another Friday where I'm going to talk about Mikko Rantanen. His prop is set at 4.1. There's actually a couple nice juicy prop totals over at prizepicks.com, and you can mix and match across all the sports that you love, and they're all going on right now. Follow the link in the description for the 100% first deposit match of up to $100. So there's a couple, as I mentioned. Sid the Kid, not a kid anymore, but 4.4 against the Devils. Timo Meier, 3 points against LA, but Mikko Rantanen here, 4.1 against the Ducks. And Matthew Barzal, 3.1 against the Rangers. Let's actually start with Barzal. I really like the moves that the Islanders made this week, picking up Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac. I think it's only a matter of time before Palmieri gets that top spot next to Matthew Barzal and Jordan Eberle. He played some left wing with the Ducks before, and he's playing on that top power play as well. But Barzal's got 10 shots in his last 2 games, 21 over his last 4. So he's getting to the point total just on shots alone. He's really hammering the puck on net lately, and 5 blocks over his last 3 games. That's 2.5 fantasy points over at Prize Picks right there. He's got 4 goals and 9 points over his last 6 games. A date with the New York Rangers tonight, and the Rangers have played to the over in 8 of their past 13 games. Igor Shesterkin has been their better goalie. He played last night. I don't expect him to start tonight, so I'm going to take the over on Matthew Barzal. And Mikko Rantanen, I really don't need to say anything. I don't think I need to. I mean, 4.1 is too low for Rantanen. 6 games against the Ducks this season, 6 goals, 7 points, 21 shots. He's on a heater. The line has to be ticked off, the top line for Colorado. They're going to take all their frustrations out from their last game, letting in 8 goals against Minnie. They're going to take it all out on the Ducks and Mr. Ducksworth himself. So take the over on Mikko Rantanen and consider Timo Meier. He's had at least 7 shots in 3 of his past 5 games. His prop total set at 3, so he's getting there alone just on his shots. All right, Cam Stewart, what's going on, man? Happy Friday.
Meaney, how you doing, buddy? Happy Friday. Yeah, it's just we got the Masters bets going on. We got hockey bets. I told Gabe doing my show, my portfolio, it's like that loser in a briefcase. Like all my papers are falling. I got so many damn bets. I will say this, it's going to be a tough one tonight. A lot of favorites. I guess we're hitting parlays and totals more than the games, Meaney. Just looking at this stuff, very difficult too. Like I'll tell you, hockey, you know, I take Colorado as a dog. Vegas beats me as a favorite. You know, you think the Blues are dead, they're alive. The Kings, they were hot, then they're cold. The Coyotes, it's like, I don't know what's going on. It's like an up and down world. No lead is safe, and it's very, very difficult. Other than the North, we know the North. Vancouver's got the COVID problems. Montreal's basically locked in. That division's there, but a lot of things can happen, buddy. And teams that have leads and can like really get advantages, they're just pissing them away. It's a really weird season, man.
Yeah, it really is. I was looking at all the divisions here. I mean, the Predators, I think we wrote them off.
Oh, no, we're
a while ago. And
Saros, buddy, they're on a heater.
I can't believe Saros. I haven't looked at the numbers this morning, but I know they won last night 7-1.
Yep.
But before heading into last night, Saros over the last 30 days had a league high 9.67 save percentage and a 1.25 goals against average, and the Preds were just rolling. Let's bring in Matty Best early here. He covers the Preds.
Yeah.
What's going on? What have you seen? There's no Philip Forsberg. Arvidsson returned. I think he had a hattie last night. Tolvanen's been playing good. They were without. They're still without Ryan Ellis, right? For a long time, they were without Roman Josi for a while. Like, what is it? Just Saros is the reason that they've just been one of the better teams in the league lately?
It's mainly because there's been a buy-in to John Hines' system. To start the season, not a lot of these players really gave a shit, for lack of a better term, and we're trying to rely on old Predators play, which is try and lug the puck into the offensive zone and then eventually turn it over at the blue line. And then because the Predators aren't a fast team, they'd get beat trying to backcheck. Now instead, they're actually playing John Hines' system, which is a lot of puck control near the blue line, and there's a controlled dump in towards the blue line. And all the players are doing it, top to bottom. Even the young guys are doing it. And I think it was kind of a mini youth movement when Tolvanen came in, when guys like Andrew Ferentz just coming in now, Jeremy Davies, Alex Carrier, these guys coming in and showing, hey, we'll play for this ice time and we'll actually earn it, which has made some of the veterans go, oh shit, I should probably do something.
Yep.
Strong goaltending has been huge, but the biggest thing I want to see is a lot of these wins have come against the Detroit Red Wings, Chicago,
Exactly.
Dallas.
Exactly.
And I've preached it every single time on the podcast that I host for the Predators is show this to me against the Carolina Hurricanes or the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Florida Panthers on a consistent basis, and I'll be a believer. Because other than that, it looks like David Poyle's back to the whole run it back mentality since 2017, where they're content in being a borderline playoff team, having a shitty draft pick, and then running it back the year after and hoping for another Cinderella run, where they should make space for guys like Phil Tomasino, Rem Pitlick, and those guys to play. But Poyle likes to try and make the fans happy instead of going for a partial rebuild at best.
Poyle, the smoking man from the X-Files. That's what he like. Hey guys, we're gonna make a deal. I'll tell you something about the Predators too, Matt. I don't know why you know more about this team than Terry Crisp, Meaney. He's breaking it down. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And what about our boy, Rocco Grimaldi, and all these other guys? I don't know what's going on. UC Saros just all of a sudden, like he was horrible. My buddy, I told you about Visine Vince. He's like, I'm dumping Saros in my fantasy league. He stinks. Since he did that, it's just the guy's on a heater. He can't be stopped. And that inspires Pekka Rinne too. So the starts that he's getting. But Matt brings up the best point. You were losing to Detroit. You beat them in a shootout the game before. You blast them 7-1 the other night. Let's see what they do against the big boys. And I hate to say it, you guys have seen Carolina lately, shutting out Florida. These guys look like they're absolutely on fire. They're one of my dark horses to do some serious damage. So I agree with Matt. Meaney, you got to agree too. I think the Predators beat somebody real, and then we'll start thinking you're good. But hey, they're taking care of their business, which a lot of teams aren't. So I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, the inside source right there, Matty Best.
Matt Best, Predators Radio Network. That was amazing.
More than Matt Best. Yeah, that was amazing. And also sounds like boring hockey games. Let's just dump it into the corner. No, it's hey, whatever's working. But I'm glad you brought that up, Best, because I was looking too. And UC Saros has been great. It's 3 or fewer goals in 13 straight, 2 or fewer in 12 of those, and basically 1 in all of them, which is crazy. But yeah. What do we got here? Beat Dallas, beat Detroit, beat Chicago, beat Dallas, lost to Dallas, beat Chicago, beat Detroit. So we'll see them play Tampa Bay in next couple of years, how good they are there. But yeah, I mean, UC Saros, again, I'm looking at it, the last 30 days, 9.64 save percentage on 1.19 goals against average. He's got 8 W's. It is
the thing is though, Meaney, I know we'll get to the games, but they're also getting lucky. Some of these teams, like the President's Trophy and stuff, like in hockey, it's taboo. It's basically, oven mitts. You don't want to touch that thing. And now they have teams that have already locked themselves in playoff spots late. This season is grinding. So Nashville's going to get teams that aren't like, you know what I mean, at the start of the year wanting to pummel you. They're thinking, let's stay healthy. I'm not going to say they're going to, go on bad runs here, but there's going to be days they take off. Like you saw example last week, Red Wings against Tampa Bay. They didn't show up for that game. They were already on the golf course. Detroit beats them 5-1. It happens. And as we progress, I think teams like Nashville that are fighting, they're going to get lucky because a lot of the teams they're playing that are good have already locked up playoff spots.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point. And we saw a couple days ago, Tampa got smoked by Columbus. And I was like, there's no way this team is going to show up tomorrow. This was last night. And they showed up and they beat them. Yep. But there are going to be games like that. And I don't know if the Hurricanes will have games like that. Your Hurricanes, I'm in on them too. I think they're going to make some noise. They just seem like they're all business. Mrazek is back, picked up a shutout the other night. Nedeljkovic last night picked up another shutout. This guy has been great. Reimer's on the bench just hanging out because Mrazek's back. They just have they're so deep, and I expect them probably to make a move here. The deadline's on Monday. It may be a quiet deadline, but like one more move, just another depth piece. I know that they were in on Eric Stahl to bring him back to Carolina to play with his brother. They didn't get it. I think they're going to make one more depth piece. They're a scary team right now. We can get into today. As I mentioned, there's 7 games, a lot of heavy favorites, Cam, tons. So I'll be interested to see where we go here. It may just be a shot prop night for me, but Washington and Buffalo is in here next. When Maddie made these boards, Washington was minus 237 favorites. They're now creeping up to minus 270. 265 right now against the Sabres. Buffalo. They've
been good to me, except for last
night.
Playing a
little bit better. Last night playing a little bit better. They had the back-to-back series against the Devils, which went over the number. Any interest here in Buffalo in a back-to-back?
Here's the thing, guys. I think it's weird. Like a lot of these games, I'm looking at totals and thinking over and calling the butcher on Friday. But, he's like, Cam, you're too fat. It's tofu for you. Like these games look good. But look at Washington, right? These guys lost again to the Boston Bruins with Swayman. I love their 4-string goalie. Swayman, what are you up to? He's on fire. Boston's winning with Vlader, Darth Vlader, and they're winning with Swayman. I don't know what the hell's going on, Meaney. We're living in a crazy world here. But I will say this. Washington, if they show up in this game, Buffalo's toast. They've been riding Ullmark, and that's why I've been betting them. I got to believe we might have a Tokarski sighting because Ullmark played and lost against the Devils. That's bad news. I would look at the Capitals and parlays, and I think the over 6. Buffalo's actually been scoring some goals. Washington hasn't been as crisp, so I think we can get there tonight. What do you think, Meaney? And I think Washington, if they show up, they should be able to beat the Sabres by multiple goals.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like the Caps here on the puck line. I like the over. Yeah, Tokarski's going to get the start. He's been shaky. He's lost all 4 of his outings. He's got a 3.79 goals against average. Shaky, to say the least. Buffalo has been scoring some goals, but I do like the Caps and the puck line here. Ovechkin on DK is 4.5 shot prop. It's too much, but William Hill, you can get him at 3.5 at minus 150. I think, you get involved with him for a goal, right? Just to hit the score sheet. He's minus 114. Doesn't seem like it's crazy good odds, but I would imagine he has a couple shots tonight and has his way with the Sabres. Right? Yes. I saw a Bruins guy tweet when they played the Flyers the other night. He's like, wow, we have 4 goalies better than Carter Hart. Who are they?
Exactly. Oh, it's true. And I was doing my show with Mr. Smokestack Marlboro, Brian Blessing last night. We were doing a little bit of our podcast show and getting up to the show we do on Sirius on the weekend, the betting stuff. And we were talking about Boston. Like, what do you do with these guys? Like, you got 4 goaltenders now. Like, and obviously it's a small sample size with Vlader and Swayman, but Swayman's numbers in Providence were fantastic, Meaney.
Yeah, they were.
Like almost like a 940 save percentage and stuff. So the Bruins are sitting back there. These guys won't go away. They're like the killer in a horror movie. Me and you, we stabbed him. We're out having a couple of beers. Next thing you know, he's rising from the bog, and I got a knife in the back. He's in your next, Meaney. These guys, I'll tell you, man, they just won't go away. And Patrice Bergeron, I'll say this about you, buddy. You're one of the best ever. The fact that you're doing this, I was doing Journey to the Cup at the Score almost a decade ago, and you're still doing these things 10 years later, playing hockey, one of the hardest sports to maintain it. Man, I love you. I don't like the Bruins, but I respect them big time.
Yeah, me too. We chatted, I think, last Friday about the potential of the Rangers maybe squeaking in, and all of a sudden they're 7 back of Boston because they've won. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10 games, and there was that moment. I don't know if you caught it when he tripped when Bergeron fell in overtime and the Flyers won. He just he was skating backwards and he tripped on the blue line, and then Flyers scored on the goal and it was overtime. And I said over at FTN, and I kind of laughed to myself, but I was like, Bergeron is probably so pissed off from that. He's going to come out flying, yes, take him 11-1, take his shot prop. He scored the first goal 11-1. He scored a hat trick. He had the shot prop in the first period. He was a man on fire. He is, you're right, one of the best I've ever seen, and it is remarkable to watch him play. He won't allow the Bruins to miss the playoffs.
Exactly.
Every time. They mixed up their lines, and it's got Pasternak in a bit of a funk on the second line, and Bergeron hasn't missed a beat. Marchand, too. I mean, the guy's got 2 shorthanded goals last week.
Exactly.
Bruins are not on the schedule, but we're really pumping their tires. They are just a couple back of the Pens. Pittsburgh playing the Devils here tonight. Both teams played last night. Pittsburgh bounced back after getting their butts whipped on Tuesday to the Rangers, and they took it to New York last night. They have won 7 of their last 10 games, so they're 25-13-2 on the year, 52 points. Just 4 back of the Islanders up at the top, and just 2 back of the Caps, and as I mentioned, 4 clear of Boston. Minus 180 on the road here, the Devils plus 150. The Devils have been scoring some goals lately as well. As I said off the top, they've now lost Palmieri and Zajac, so they're a little thin. They're letting the kids play. Pittsburgh here, another team heavy favorites. What do you do with this one?
Yeah, Meaney, I don't know. And this I'm really scared because I'm looking at totals, and I like a lot of especially in-game unders, especially when teams 1-1 away. Like we had the Canadiens Leafs game, the total went up to 7.5. It's 1-1 after the first. I'm like, yes, the Leafs win 3-2. That's the way to attack hockey, I think. But I don't know how they don't get there. Like Pittsburgh has been scoring. The Devils have young players playing. They're going to make mistakes and score. The goaltending on both sides isn't great either. And it's a 6, right? So yeah. I think at worst we can get a push here, but I kind of like over, and the Devils beat Buffalo. Penguins should take care of their business and win. It's a parlay material. It's parlay material. Hey, if you want to take the puck line -1.5 and get 40 cents, that's cool. Sometimes I don't do that because I hate when like you win the bet and you're like, what? I didn't win because they didn't win by 2 goals. They still won the damn hockey game. I think Pittsburgh parlayed looks good, and I lean over again. I don't know, man. I'm scared, buddy. It's scary.
Yeah, it is. It is scary. I kind of have the same feel though as you. The Devils, they're scoring some goals. We've been riding Igor Sharangovich as a shot prop guy, and man, we've really been sweating it out. Yesterday, he got in the final shift. I think he got the 2 shots to get there, and then the night before, the same thing. It was late in the game where he got the 2 shots. I actually don't see him right now, so he's not there. But if he was 2.5 shots plus money, I could get behind that. Crosby is -313 for a point. No thanks. But how about 2 points for Mr. Crosby? +150. Get behind that. Maybe.
I can get behind that too. I like that.
+150 for a 2-point night, said the kid. My one issue with Crosby, and I have been taking him shot props, is that sometimes he gets into these games where I've watched where it's the Devils or it's the Sabres, just a mediocre opponent, and he's passing it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't have the same drive. There was one play, and it was on the power play cam. He was playing the Sabres, and they were up 4-1 or something like that. He was all alone in the slot. The rebound came out to him, and any other player in the world would have just hammered the puck. And he just took it and skated off in the corner and set up the power play again. I was like, oh my God,
what are you doing? Shoot the puck. I agree.
So that's the one issue I have when I consider the shot props and the point totals. But I think I'm in on him on a 2-point night. And 2.5 here is not too bad for a shot prop. Yeah, I don't know. The Penguins roll. I mean, they're all business. I can't see them losing tonight. But they are going to have Casey DeSmith in net. The one fear I have about the total would be Mackenzie Blackwood. Is Blackwood going to get the call here? So it's tough, like, because he's a good goalie. I respect him. Like, he can keep totals under.
Yeah. What is it tonight? Is it, I think, is it Dell Computers or like, what do we got going on here? We got the wood that makes it good. Like, I love the Devils. Miles Wood, Blackwood, Wedgwood. It's like, okay, you got wood. And then you got Dell Computers. Who's in that tonight? Is it Wedgwood? Blackwood?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be Blackwood.
Okay.
We played last night and it was Dell Computers.
Dell Computers, yes.
So I think we'll go to Blackwood. I love that nickname for him, by the way. Oh, that's great.
He's Dell. Oh
all right, let's get going here to a battle in New York.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is a tighter matchup. You got the Islanders at home, -127. They played last night. They beat the Flyers in overtime or in a shootout. And then we got the Rangers +110, who played to the under in 8 of their last 12 games. They're starting to score some goals, but giving some up as well. They're +110. As I mentioned, 25-14 against the spread, 18-16-5. It really is go time for New York. They got to win, I'd say, about 70% of their games the rest of the way to have a shot here at the playoffs. Cam, I like what the Islanders did, man. They're a sound team. Yeah, it gets stronger down the middle. What a luxury to have like John Gabriel Pajot just play the wing. He's a strong defensive 2-way forward, and he started off last night playing on the left side. What do you think here?
Yeah, it's a great point, Meaney. Lou Lamoriello props. These guys don't wait to the trade deadline. And the one thing about the Islanders is their power play blows. Now you bring Palmieri. Like there's some things that they can do with this move too. I like Travis Zajac. He's a consummate professional. Great move. And the Devils need to stockpile picks to become better. I think it's a win for both sides. Here in this game, the Islanders didn't play their best hockey against Philadelphia, probably waiting for the Rangers.
Yeah.
The first thing you do is look at the total and think, wow, we're going to have like goals here. I saw 5.5 pop up like literally a half an hour. It's 6 now. And if it stays at 6, meaning I'm expecting opposite of the other games, maybe a playoff style game, defensive, a 2-1 type of game. That's what I'm thinking with this game. I might be wrong, but I think the under is going to be in play. I think the Islanders are a better team than the Rangers. And I think they'd love to put a nail in their coffin. Like the Rangers, it's been a nice run, but the way Boston's playing, they're not giving up anything. What do you think about the Islanders and the under?
Yeah, you and I are on the absolute same page. This is one of my favorite bets on the board. I love the under. I just the way that the Islanders play, they just don't give up a whole lot, right? And these two teams have played each other 3 times. It's gone under the number every single time, and 2 of the games have been actually all 3 of the games, Cam, have been shutouts either way. So it was early on in the year, it was 4-0 shutout, 5-0 shutout, but a little bit later on than in that, it was a 2-0 shutout. So I am in on the Isles and I am in on the under. Yeah, I saw that creep up to 6. I'm seeing here on our board, we got 5.5, 5.5, some spots, 6. I like the under. Absolutely.
I do too. I especially at 6, 5.5, I still lean that way. So let's do it, Meaney. We're keep digging. We're on the under there. Let's do it. Or we like a lot of overs, but that one we like under.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay away from all the shot props there. As much as I like Matthew Barzal off the top, he can still get there with just this game being under. 3 points is nothing for Barzal. A couple shots and an assist, we're there. A goal, we're definitely there. Like I said, he's been blocking some shots lately as well. So I think we can get there either way. And I'm not going to take any shot props in this game. Mika Zibanejad is one that I sometimes consider, but I don't take any shot props against the Islanders. They're just too stingy. It's a stay away from me. I'd even consider the under there on Mika. All right, what do you want to do here? Arizona and Vegas, or let's go there. We'll get this one out of the way. Arizona and Vegas. Vegas heavy home favorites here. Minus 237. Yotes plus 197. 19 and 21. 16 and 22. I was on Vegas Cam on Wednesday. Was wrong. The Blues won, but man, I watched that game and Binnington he looked like the Binnington when they won the cup. He had like 50 some odd saves. He was awesome. Vegas just couldn't do anything. They couldn't get anything past him. All the big boys were shooting the puck. Stone, Pacioretty, Marchessault, all of those guys. I don't know, man. I can't take the Yotes. I know, like
I want to, but I want to too, buddy. But I can't. And the thing is, what do you guys do in Arizona? You had a nice lead against the Kings. The Kings were down on the mat in the loser leaves town match. They get up and they bury you. That is a heartbreaking loss. And you lost in regulation. You didn't even get the point.
No.
Here's the thing, Meaney. The Vegas Golden Knights have a problem, and Brian tells me because he still covers them and does questions with the coach and the players and stuff. Their goal scoring bit has been in a drought. I expect them to make a move. We've talked about that because Colorado – they're strong. And I hate to say this, I love Marc-Andre Fleury, but he has not been the better goaltender. Robin Lehner has taken over again. He has been consistently better during the last run. And Vegas has problems, but you said it too. They've also had a little bit of unlucky breaks. They were snake bitten. The Blues are a desperate team. They came out, jumped on them. I want to take Arizona. I can't. So Vegas should win this game. If they're going to be angry, right, Chris? They're going to be like really pissed off the way they've been playing. I think DeBoer has these guys like almost bag skating them. They're going to be ready to play, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Minus 230 as of talking to you guys now. I agree with everything. I think Leonard actually gets the call. Maybe Fleury's just played too much hockey over the first, couple months of the season where he needs a little bit of a break. So I kind of lean the under. Because,
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I like the under. I think Vegas wins like a 3-1 hockey game.
Yeah. Vegas, they don't play to a ton of overs, Cam. Early on in the year, I was looking for their offense. Like, where's the offense? And, Fleury was playing so good, and they were just beating teams like 2-1. Even the Ducks come into town, and you think that, you can get on them on the puck line, and they just win a game 2-1, or, the Ducks find a way to squeak one out. What do you think, Matty Best? You like to take puck lines the other way. Would you consider the Yotes here?
I don't have the stones to take the Yotes here. I think I just have to go with Vegas and call it a day. Like you said, there's a lot of favorites on here, but out of all of the underdogs based on price and value, this is the one that I'd lean towards the most. I can't do it, though, tonight. Like you said off the top of the show, I feel like this is going to be a shot prop night for me.
Yeah, Vegas has played to the under in 5 of their past 7 games. They're really good at home too, Cam. 14-4-2.
Yeah.
They've been unbelievable at home since they came into the league.
And they got fans there still, like, you know what I mean? I actually talked to Brian about this too, Meaney. I find it interesting. It's like no franchise has had more luck off the top. Matt likes the Leafs. I like the Leafs. You like the Canadians. And you know what? I don't even have a hate for any Canadian franchise for their suffering fans. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things you want to see it happen. What's Vegas going to do when they become eventually like a mediocre team or actually slip in if they're ever a poor team? Or is this fan base going to be around? The NHL needed them to be successful out of the gate. So they have to keep up with the Joneses and they got to keep on being a good team or else, you know what I mean? This Vegas Golden Knights thing, there's a lot of fair weather fans you got to be thinking, right? There's good hockey fans. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a good group of them, but I have a feeling this Vegas thing that's been going on for years won't be as popular, whereas Toronto Leafs fans, it doesn't matter if they're dead, playing well, whatever, everybody's brainwashed.
Yeah, everybody is brainwashed. There's no question about that. I was you guys will whatever. I can't even say it. I will say it's all that obviously that the Leafs were taking it to the Habs the other night. I think Montreal, so like they had one strong period, and other than that, it was the Leafs all over them in the first and all over them in the third. But the noise, I kept hearing the fake crowd noise, and I asked a buddy, like just asking for a friend, is it louder here with the fake crowd noise, or if the fans were there, would it be louder? Oh, stop it! Oh, stop it! But I've been to the ACC and it's been quiet, and I've been to a game in Vegas, and I'll tell you what, it is an amazing
experience.
Oh, what a time it is! I encourage everybody. Every hockey fan out there to go to Vegas and catch a game and maybe go early. Yeah, well, the team is really good and they're rolling. It is such a blast. I've been to Nashville too. Is also
Nashville's awesome. There's a misconception, right? But and the Leaf fans, they're crazy. They're hardcore. The Canadian fans just the exact same. But the people who get the tickets are the Bay Street bootlickers, as we like to say, and the corporate turds. So they're sitting there eating their sushi and $20 roast beef sandwiches and sucking back $40 double vodkas, right? You see the platinums, they're empty. That's just the way it works. Regular people can't afford $500 tickets.
No, they can't. No, not at all. It's very tough. Yeah, but Vegas does have some fans right now. To your point, I like them tonight. We'll bounce
Me
back.
too.
I like Marchessault, the shot prop. He's been the guy that I've been going to now. He's been actually consistent here. I believe it's 4 straight games. Marchessault has hit the shot prop. Let's take a look here quickly on the fly. Yeah, 8 shots last game. He's actually 5 straight games with at least 3 shots. So Marchessault 2.5. I don't mind Pacioretty either. We talked about him on Wednesday. Cam is just a guy when he's quiet right now, but like every goal scorer, he's very streaky. And when it happens in bunches for Max Pacioretty. 7 shots in his last game, and he's got 9 in his last 2. He had another game there with 6. I would consider him maybe anytime goal here, Max Pacioretty. Let's move on to Colorado.
I think we missed Minnesota, St. Louis, Meaney. Didn't we?
You want to do that one?
Yeah, if it was a NATO, I think it's a little bit of an earlier start, right?
Meaney, yeah, it is. It's actually 8 Eastern. So let's do that one. Let's go Minnesota and St. Louis. This is a good game. This should be a good one.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, Blues, big W, plus 105 at home here in Minnesota, minus 122. The total is 5.5. The Blues 11-28 against the spread. That was a huge victory for them. But like I said, man, I didn't think they deserved it. I thought they played strong off the top, but I thought Vegas really owned the puck in their zone. It was a strong game from Jordan Binnington. And then Minnesota, they crushed the Avs.
Yeah.
8 goals. They only had 19 shots, but they had a big game from Kevin Fiala. I like the move to get Fiala with Kaprizov. It started to spark there with both of those players because Kaprizov was in a bit of a funk, as was Fiala. What are you doing with this contest?
Here's the thing. St. Louis, they're one of those teams, they've been there, and they're alive. They were almost dead, but you know what, Meaney? I think a lot of these teams would love to put the nail in St. Louis's coffin after they win the cup there. You don't want these guys around in the playoffs, even though they're playing bad hockey. It's just certain guys could wake up, Tarasenko and the rest of their team. Like, they can get on that heater. I don't like their blue line. You're right about Binnington. He could steal games, and that's an issue. So you need St. Louis to be gone. Minnesota, in my opinion, is a better team. I think they go in there and get it done. I'm a little bit scared here. Wow, I think I'm looking for dogs tonight. But they're not there. They're just simply not there. I like Minnesota to win the game. It should be a tight one. What do you think about the total?
I think
and the side.
I kind of lean the under.
I kind of do too.
I'm torn on the total, to be honest. It is Binnington. Like, Minnesota's been getting such strong goaltending, and they don't score a ton of goals, despite the 8 goals the other night. I think it was just an off night from Grubauer. I mean, they only had 19 shots.
Mm-hmm.
They're so strong defensively. Minnesota, I look back and I see their games, and they do play to a lot of unders. This is only the second game against the Blues this season, but have you seen the schedule? This is the first of 3 against Minnesota, and then they go Colorado, Arizona, Colorado, and then they got 4 straight against Minnesota. Or against St. Louis rather. So this is like a lot of Minnesota and St. Louis. This is a stretch here of playoff hockey. Cam, this is like round 1.
Yep, you're right.
Playoffs, Minnesota and St. Louis, and they are just going to beat the crap out of each other. And the winner of the series is probably going to, I think Minnesota gets into the postseason anyways, but it could be a stretch for the Blues to really gain some points and get in. I don't know. I lean Minnesota here. I'm torn on this game. I
am too, because
torn.
I'm worried about what the Blues did in the Vegas game. If they can get hot goaltending, they could beat anybody and steal a game. It's weird. Minnesota plays really well and actually like owns Vegas, and then like St. Louis. I don't know what to do here because there's a lot of factors on both sides you can make cases for. St. Louis, they're a professional team. They're not going down without a fight, but I also think Minnesota is a better team than St. Louis.
Me too.
They might play a smart game on the road. I kind of like Minnesota in the under.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like exactly like kind of like the other game, 3-2. Like it's going to be real tight.
This is the first of two straight against these two teams. I don't think it matters who's in net for Minnesota.
I agree.
Whether it's Talbot or Kakin, I don't think it matters. Like I feel like they'll do enough to keep the total low. And I got to think that they go back to Binnington here, even though they're going to play again tomorrow.
They can't put Husso in. They got to ride Binnington. They got to ride Binnington until they can't make the playoffs, basically.
Yeah, I would agree. I am going to lean. I am going to lean with the under, but I'm with you on Minnesota. I think that they're the better team. They could probably, you're right. They probably smell blood here, right? The Blues, they're going to bring it. But the thing with the Wild, that you just said it, you alluded to it, is that they show up against these good teams. And then, when I feel like they should beat Arizona or they should beat Anaheim, they don't. And I don't know what it is with them. It just, they bother me.
This isn't getting easier. It's getting harder. Yeah. NHL, can we get to the playoffs, please? It's hard, man. It's like these matchups, these situations. Like there's things that you used to do in betting. It's like, for me, second game back, road trip, it's just everything's out of whack, man. Like it's just wild. It's wild. It's just hard. It's hard. It's giving me the blues. I got more bad jokes. Like I'm telling you, I don't know what to do. Wild. I think the Wild are a better team. If you said Meaney, I'm gonna be honest. I was taping a show during that Vegas Blues game, and I saw the start where the Blues killed them. I didn't know that they didn't do that the whole game. So if you said Vegas pummeled them and they got a hot goaltender, that might not be able to sustain itself. So I got to take Minnesota.
Yeah, Matt.
I
think we're confusing ourselves here a little bit with it. I think we're overthinking it.
I think we are too.
Yeah, Binnington made the 50 saves before that, 51 shots. Like Matt and I were chatting before about Vegas. Remember, Matt, we were talking about Vegas. Is Vegas really going to ruin this parlay for us? And I was like, man, they're playing really good. Like they deserve to be. I almost want to live bet them, and because they were playing so strong. I mean, they outshot them significantly. What do you think here?
I think we're overthinking it. I think the Wild win this. I think the only reason we're overthinking it too, I don't know why, because I like the price that you can get for the Wild right now. Minus 122 according to the graphic we have built here. The under in the Wild is my play here, and this was one of the ones where I just closed my eyes and said, yep, this makes sense. Okay, good, let's move on. Because like you said, Vegas did ruin our parlay, but like you said, they should have won the game.
They dominated play 5-5.
Yeah, it's now a matter of, can Binnington do this for another game in a row? Because we haven't seen that all season long, where Benny's gotten like 2 dominant starts back to back. So until we see that happen, I'll take the Wild at minus 122 or better if you can find it.
Yeah, I was so indecisive there. And I think the reason, Cam, I am is because I'm thinking of this Blues team as like a Stanley Cup contender.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And they're not.
They haven't shown that at all. So yeah, they got by Vegas, but again, it was on the back of Binnington. I think we ride Minnesota. We lean with the under. Then we can get to Colorado. I don't know if I've ever seen a team like minus 333 or 335 on the road. Like, oh my goodness.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't want Colorado could kill these guys. Are they going to show up? I don't know. Yeah, no. At night, I needed S.J. Sharkey over Anaheim. That ruined my parlay, and they got quack, 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 quack. The Ducks basically slapped these turkeys around. S.J. Sharkey, they were minnows, man. I was pissed. You couldn't even get out of a hedge because Anaheim was all over them, right? What do you do in this game? Colorado gets smoked by Minnesota. I'm not laying that juice. If you want to put it in a parlay, like if you bet Colorado single-handedly and lose, that's your problem. Yeah. If you want to make it into a parlay to at least low juice or plus money, sure. But I'm telling you,
I don't even know if I want to do that.
I don't want to do. No, Anaheim is playing loose, and it's just like the NBA. It's so funny. Oh, the Orlando Magic are so horrible. They got rid of Vucevic. Win, cover. It's the opposite of what you think. That's the thing about sports. That's why casinos are rich and everybody else is poor. bad, crazy things happen. I don't know, man. Anaheim played great against the Sharks. I know the Sharks aren't Colorado. Colorado's coming off a demoralizing loss. They're probably going to be pissed, but I want nothing to do with this game. Maybe the over, because Anaheim might score some goals and Colorado should score some goals. Maybe we have a sloppy game.
Yeah, I think that's the over is the play because you know that they're going to score, right? At least I think that they will. There's a possibility.
Anaheim's
that
good for a
kicks the
few.
fans on his head.
Aren't
Yeah,
they?
Anaheim's good. Yeah, I think Anaheim is good. And look at Colorado, just the overs that they've played, right?
I know.
Even the last time out, not doing their part, the 3 goals, but 8 allowed. I mean, it's been over. He's got 15 points in there. They got points in 15 of the last 16 games, and a lot of the time, the over is hit. This is what I talked about earlier. I'm not going to play Colorado. I'm not going to play them on the money line. I'm not going to put them on my parlays. I just don't think it's worth it. If you want to have some fun and put them on a puck line, put them with Washington, by all means, go ahead. I think you just get involved with the shot props. This is what you do with this game. You take Mikko Rantanen over 2.5 shots. You take Nate McKinnon over 3.5 shots. You take Nazem Kadri over 2.5 shots. You hit them all the other night. Those are the guys. It sucks that you can't parlay them together, but you can parlay those guys with other shot props. Crosby, Ovechkin, Marchessault. So I think that's the way if you want to have some action in on Colorado, because I just can't get behind that. It's just no way. Minus 335. I'm not doing it, man.
Nope.
Not doing it.
No, me neither.
All right, SJ Sharkies. Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. They were on a big winning streak, and they just got their butts whooped by the Ducks. I know. I thought too. I was thinking about hammering them live in bet.
Yeah.
I was in on them, man. I was San Jose in the under. I was thinking about taking them on the puck line. The Kings came back, as you mentioned earlier, got 3 goals in the third period against Arizona, plus 112. LA on the road, minus 130. It does look like Logan Couture is going to play. I was looking this morning and I saw some news. He is probable to suit up in this game. 23-15 against the spread. I mean, San Jose, they were really sniffing a playoff spot there, Cam.
That's what I'm saying.
Sharks. Yeah. I mean, even right now, they're 5 back with that loss. They got 2 games in hand on Arizona. I like them again tonight. I think I'm going to go back to them.
I'll tell you, Meaney, just on this show, like, hey, I'm Cam Stewart. The Kings, we're going to eat like kings. No, they lose to the Sharks. Remember that game? I'm like, I can't get these teams right. Like recently, it's killing me. The Kings come back. You know what, Meaney? You're right. Let's stick to the system. San Jose still has the pedigree. I worry about, like, they've been playing great. They laid an egg against the Ducks. The Kings, sure, they were getting beat by Arizona. They played a good period. Big deal.
Maybe we just don't bet it. I said something the other day.
I know.
We got enough games here. Usually there's only 4 or 5, and we have to bet on the Sharks or the Kings or the Ducks, you know what I mean, or Arizona. Like, these are just, overall, they're not great hockey teams.
No. Under, though. Maybe the under. Every time these teams get together, it's like 2-0, 3-1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it feels like unders all the time. Maybe it's a playoff style atmosphere. Both teams are playing for something. You can't do dumb stuff. Kind of lean under with the Sharks, but you're right. Like, oh God, that's the best meeting. Let's not bet it. I don't even know what that means. I'm probably going to bet it.
I don't even know what that means. Let's not bet it.
What? Not bet? Woo.
We had, I know Maddie Best does some producing for Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks here on Mayo Media Network. And Big John was like, a no bet is a good bet. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't understand what that means. No bet is a good bet. I lean Sharks. They are playing better hockey over the last 2 weeks. They've been the better team. Couture is going to be there. I've talked about Timo Meier and Thomas Hertl. These are guys that have given them a little bit of a spark. Erik Karlsson's playing better. They're getting better goaltending from Martin Jones. I think they are the better team than LA. They're at home here. They have a decent shot. I said decent, but they can still smell maybe playoff potential, right? You talked about the experience that they have on that team. LA has got some guys like that too, but they also have some young players that are still learning, especially on their blue line. San Jose's got some better players, some experienced players, Burns, Karlsson, the guys up front, Couture and Kane. But the shot props, I mean, Dustin Brown, 2.5. He hit the other night. Timo Meier, I said off the top, he's been shooting a lot, 2.5. You can get Timo Meier actually plus money, 2.5 in some spots. I like that as well. Okay. On the way out here, just quickly, the stacks, like, where do you think all the offense is going to come from here tonight? Washington against Buffalo, probably be pretty obvious. Pittsburgh, New Jersey, again, probably pretty obvious. Colorado, I think if you want, you get involved with maybe some secondary lines there. Those are where the goals are going to come from, you think?
I do think that, buddy. I love those games. I really think, Buffalo, New Jersey, definitely. Colorado, Anaheim, yeah, I'm with you. I agree with all those games. Like we talked about the over in a lot of them. I think the Islanders game will play like a playoff game. I think we like the under there. And I agree with you 100% on those, Meaney. Those are the games where we get goals.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a bit of value, I mean, TJ Oshie is 5'3". He's very, very cheap. You get some exposure to the Ovechkin line. Pittsburgh, if you're looking to get away from that top line, Jason Zucker is 3'7". He's been okay. I mean, a goal and assist the other night. So he's a guy who's fairly cheap. And then Colorado, I mean, it's hard to imagine them not having a ton of shots, and losing that game the other night. And not going to break any news here, the top line, but maybe just have some fun with the second line. Burakovsky 4-2, Kadri. It looks like Kadri's close to breaking out. He's 5'6". This is a guy who's been shooting the puck a lot, 5-4, 4-4, and 4 over his last few games. So that's where I think the offense is going to come from. And I like the goaltending in New York, in the Islanders. If you want to go with Varlamov, I think he'll get the start with Sorokin playing last night, and then Leonard. I would go Leonard there as well. Like that's where I'm leaning with.
Love it.
All right, Best, what do you got for us from Wednesday?
All right, for your picks, you went 2-2. Montreal, Toronto under hit. Vegas over did not. Colorado money line did not. Edmonton money line hit. Brings your win-loss to 111 and 71. For shot props, you went 4-2. Toffoli, Marchessault had 8 shots. Kadri, Brown, all hit for you. McKinnon missed. He got 3. You needed 4. And Chikrin missed. He got 2. You needed 3.
Chikrin! You're digging with my boy Chikrin. Nice. I love it. Like most people, you go, who the hell's Chikrin? Yeah, Arizona.
He had a really good night, too.
He's a good player, actually.
A couple shots, blocked.
Guy's good.
He's actually the second best fantasy defenseman in fantasy hockey.
I love the guy. Yeah. I love him.
Okay.
Matt Best. I just can't believe Matt Best. He broke down the Nashville Predators better than anybody on their broadcast team. Anybody. Like, that was unbelievable. They should hire you. Nashville, if you're listening, Matt Best is your new guy. I'm Matt Best for Nashville Predators hockey.
I wouldn't mind
better than us breaking down.
Yeah, why not? Oh, Nashville's it's beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
What would you rather have us break down Minnesota St. Louis or have Matty Best break down the Preds
all day. MB. Matt Best is our guy.
All right, Cam, you go first. What do you got?
I don't know, Meaney. I really want to go first. I have a lean to the under in the Islanders Rangers game. Actually, it's not a lean. It's going to be played. Pittsburgh will be in parlays against the Devils. I see maybe some goals in that game as well. New Jersey with some young kids. Buffalo Sabres should lose to Washington, should beat them. I think we're going to get some goals in that game too. This is all parlay material. I'm not laying anything over like $1.50, $1.60. We're going to not overthink it. Take the Minnesota Wild. I have a lean to the under in that game, but we do like the Wild. Vegas Golden Knights in Arizona, probably going to pass or put the Knights in parlays. It's a tough game. Colorado, Anaheim, can't screw around with a minus 370. So we'll take the over in that game, Meaney, and oh God, my old friend S.J. Sharkey that ruins every parlay recently. I'll take them. Chomp, chomp, chomp. What do you got?
Oh man, S.J. Sharkey. Eating like kings or S.J. Sharkey? I got the Caps here. I get the Caps on the puck line. I'll take a puck line. Why not? Why not?
Nice.
Washington puck line. Pittsburgh. I like the Islanders and the under. I'm with you, man. It took us a lot to get there, but Minnesota and the under there as well. Minnesota under, Islanders under. I think that's a nice little 4-game parlay there. Washington puck line and Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm just going to stay away from Colorado and Vegas. I mean, I like both of those teams, but it's just too much juice there to ask. On the shot props, Ovechkin 3.5, Crosby 2.5, Mikko Rantanen 2.5, and Marchessault 2.5, Timo Meier 2.5, Dustin Brown 2.5. All of those guys absolutely over, and I'm not going to Chikrin, but I do like him overall as a fantasy hockey defenseman. From Cam Stewart, Matthew Best, and myself, Chris Meaney. Have a great weekend. Matty, I think, will be here on the weekend giving some more picks and plays. He's been red hot.
When he's not working for the Predators.
He'll give you the lowdown of the Preds and the Bolts happening this weekend. All right. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.